Good evening. The former head of the Independent Police Investigative Directorate, Robert Mcbride, has told the Zondo Commission of Inquiry that the police tried to frustrate his probes into alleged police corruption. It was also revealed today that some of his testimony will refer to Mxolisi Zondo, the brother of the Commission's chair, Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. Mcbride has said that he was suspended as the head of IPID back in 2015 as part of a coordinated campaign against people fighting corruption in the criminal justice system. Mzwandile Mbeje is our reporter who was in the Commission for you today. He joins us now live here for you. Mzwandile, good evening to you. Thanks so much for coming in after a long day in part-time. What implications could all of this have for the Commission? How is it that Mxolisi Zondo is now being referred to in this Commission by Robert Mcbride?
Well, that was very interesting and nobody had expected that, Steve. And then basically the Commission took it very, very seriously because it may be viewed differently by other people. But basically the compromise position was that the Chief Justice, or rather the chairperson in this instance, will hear the evidence relating to Mxolisi, but he will make no finding. And then in the process, they will continue to look at other avenues. For example, appraise the president, because even if the judge wanted to recuse himself, he can't. So there's no provision for that. So they would have to also allow the public, because it's possible members of the public may want to make submissions. So the process is open, but in the meantime, so the work continues, and then the judge will make no findings so that there is no prejudice whatsoever.
So there's no threat at this stage of the whole Commission falling apart?
Absolutely not. And interestingly, I mean, Mcbride himself, Mxolisi himself, and basically other people interested, so they said actually they have no problem, because some of the things that Mcbride is going to say may not necessarily have material effect insofar as in terms of making the findings are concerned.
Okay, how does Mxolisi Zondo come into all of this? What role has he accused of playing?
He chaired, I mean, he's an advocate. He chaired one of the disciplinary panels where I think Mcbride was basically made some statements which are not perhaps nice, and then as a result, so he basically said he may have been part of those people who were in the drive to get some of the people like Mcbride out, you know, things like those.
Okay, then Mcbride goes on this afternoon, later in the day, he talks about a bid to frustrate the anti-corruption bodies, almost a sort of concerted attack. Who's he talking about here? What was going on?
Well, Stephen, Mcbride is set down for 2 days. This is day one. But by the look of things, we may actually go well beyond that. He is effectively laying the ground to say how his efforts were frustrated. He is basically talking about people being shifted, the specialists in their areas being shifted from those areas because they must had some sort of investigations. He is not mentioning the names of the people, but he basically talks of a concerted, or rather a broad plan to capture those institutions so that they serve a particular agenda. As this evidence continues, it's starting to really, he's starting to name some of those people. I mean, not a lot of people have been named as yet. You remember, we were told that there is about 30 to 50 people who will be named as yet. So they have not been mentioned as yet, many of them. So, but I think, in my view, he is laying the ground to say this is how it started, and these are the characters who played in all of this.
Right. At this stage, do we know who was doing the capturing? I mean, who was trying to capture the police?
Well, you can't pinpoint to one individual at this stage, Steve, but what you can do is that you can then pick up the trend. So what is it that was happening? So why was the NPA frustrated? Why was the IPD frustrated? So who could have been behind that? And I think at the end, so he'll be able to give us a clearer picture.
Mzwandile Mbeje, thank you very much indeed. Do appreciate it. Our reporter today for you, of course, in the Zondo Commission of Inquiry into state capture.